Actually, we pay you. Yeah. That's like better than 0% interest with negative interest. Right?
That's really something.
We pay you. And here's well.
Scott Mitchell, how are you? No problem. Can you hear me okay? Yes, you have me on speakerphone here. Yes, and Mr. Parker is about to convene the meeting. So if you have any problem hearing, just let me know.
Will do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Randy's trying to keep us to the minute tonight.
7 o'clock.
Ready? We'll call to,
Apologize to all for attending by phone tonight.
You're not the only one, and there's no need to apologize for it.
all right, we're going to call to order the meeting for the Morrisville Borough Council meeting for March 16th, 2020. All rise for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Here.
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 Here by phone.
Here.
Here. Councilman Yeager.
Here. Okay, thank you, Virginia.
Virginia, I'm here.
Oh, and the mayor's here. Okay. All right, we were supposed to have the DCED Police Management Study presentation tonight, but that's being moved to April, tentatively April. So we'll move on to public comment. I don't see anybody from the public in attendance, so we'll move on to 6, which is approval of the minutes. 6A, Borough Council regular meeting of 11/18/2019. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Execution copies.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any abstentions or objections? Okay, passes. 6B, Borough Council regular meeting of January 21st, 2020. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6C, a motion to approve the Borough Council agenda meeting of February 11th, 2020. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections, abstentions? Okay, moving on to finance. 7A is the treasurer's report. 7B is a motion to pay the bill list, a motion to approve the bill list and pay the bills. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is everybody okay with the voice vote, or do we want to? All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Abstentions? 8-0. We're moving on to reports. 8A is the mayor's report.
Good evening, everyone. I had a report. I'm not going to give it in the interest of time. I think we should try to get on. Personally, I would hope you would just pay the bills and go home. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I am going to give a junior council person's report on their behalf. They actually sent it to me a few minutes ago, and I thought that was very responsible. So bear with me. She uses big words. Okay, and she says, good evening. COVID-19 is a ubiquitous, told you, to both the news and daily conversation. Everyone has felt its impact, including young people. The schools have been mandated closed for 2 weeks, and many are preparing online classes. Restaurants and stores are closing. Public gatherings are being canceled. Standardized tests are being postponed. This is my plan for the Borough Council meeting was to bring a group of 8th graders from Holy Trinity. This past Wednesday, I gave a presentation to the students, inviting them to visit this meeting and to learn how borough government functions and the topics that are currently being discussed. I also encouraged the class to ask and email her any questions that she would like to bring up on their behalf, as well as to distribute a flyer. However, 2 days later, Governor Tom Wolf ordered all school closed for 2 weeks due to the COVID-19, and other gatherings followed suit. I decided it was the best interest of the students' health and well-being to stay home. She emailed Mrs. McDowd, the principal at Holy Trinity, and asked the students be discouraged from attending in favor of rescheduling that visit. She agreed, and the precaution was given and thought it was the most logical course of action. However, the framework has been set for the class visit in the future when circumstances approve, and she will be inviting the students again. She also made a flyer. I'll send the flyer to everyone electronically. That way we don't have to handle it. So my praise to our junior council person.
Thank you, Mayor. AP Police Chief's report.
Unfortunately, I have a few things that actually have to be done tonight. An agreement was just sent to me from the district attorney's office within the last hour. It's a municipal police COVID-19 task force. It's a mutual aid agreement that we had one back in 1980. It has not been updated. I would think, Counselor, you have a copy of this? No, not from your other municipalities? Okay. If you can tonight, this has to be signed immediately. It allows us, just in case if one department goes down, it allows us to share resources in between the departments. It's not a very hard document.
See it? Here?
I'm gonna bring it up to you.
Yeah, I think.
So it's not a very hard document, but I think you need to act immediately on it, okay? Because I don't know whenever everybody's gonna get together.
Okay.
Understood.
Secondly, if I can approach also, I have the speed summary report from South Pennsylvania Avenue, which I also just got within the last hour or two. One's one way, one's a second way.
Yeah, we can just make it.
First page you see is the overall summary.
That's fine. That's good.
Yeah, sure. You have extras.
Thank you.
that was the that was his first item. This is the second item.
This is the traffic study for southbound and northbound South Pennsylvania Avenue. So what occurred was, 2 Fridays ago, there was what looked like a speed limit sign put up, which was just a counter. That was up for 1 week on one side, then it was put up on the other week for the other side. One caught southbound traffic, one caught northbound traffic. So to give you a very short summary of this, the average speed going northbound is 30.35 miles an hour. Going southbound is 31.53 miles an hour. The 85th percentile speed is 37.62 or 36.33. Every day of the week shows up on here. Every day, every hour shows up here. It does not break down the different vehicles. It only breaks down speed. So please read it if you have any questions.
Where what, was this at Post Road, at where?
It was right in the middle of the cemetery.
Okay,
Okay, one was there, and the other one was right across the street on a pole. And no one could see that that's what it was. All it was this little white box. And it didn't light up, it didn't do anything. So it didn't give people a chance. And I also took my speed limit sign down there, my electronic one, for the last 2 weeks. So it would be an independent study of the speed.
you're saying you took it down, you actually, when you put it there, or you removed it?
I took it down.
You took-
I got rid of it.
got rid of it.
It's in the garage.
Okay,
So it made an independent study so people wouldn't go, oh, I'm going 30 miles an hour,
Right.
I got to slow down. So this is a true independent study of what the speed is along that highway.
how did it measure it? Is it a strip across the road, or is it?
It's radar.
Radar?
And it's a brand new unit that I borrowed off of Langhorne Borough. Brand new $4,000 unit. So that really tells you, gives you a really good indication of that the speed is really being adhered to by the motorist mostly. And as you see, there's other tables as you go along if you want to read them. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me.
Not to get too technical, but when it gets moved around and whatnot, does it have to be recalibrated, or is it pretty much, is it,
What are you talking about, the box itself?
yeah,
I borrowed off of John Gazebo. It's less than 2 months old. So, no, it's accurate.
okay.
It's accurate.
Thank you, George.
Okay,
Did it calculate the median?
the median speed,
Yeah.
they gave you the average speed.
I know the median tells you what the speed is, like how many cars are above and how many cars are below.
It gives you the 85th percentile. So it tells you 85% of the vehicles are below 37 miles an hour.
Okay.
And that's how my understanding, that's how the state measures things. So you can look on the second page. I'm looking at the southbound one. And it'll give you every hour, starting at 12 o'clock, all the way down. It tells you how fast the average speed is of the vehicles. And obviously, most is 36.2, and that's 9 o'clock in the morning. It tells you how many cars went through that during that hour. And then the slowest was probably about 27 miles an hour at 2 o'clock in the morning. So please look at it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory for you guys to really figure out what's going on there. I see that you guys are voting on hiring an attorney at law at the municipal representation rate of $225 per hour to conduct an internal investigation. I would assume that's for the police department, or against the police department, or with the police department. I haven't been notified. Is that it?
Do you want to respond to that? Okay.
I think that was discussed with the mayor and, it's not on.
I wonder, it was discussed with the mayor and council in executive session last week.
That didn't answer my question. My question was, is this against the police department or a member thereof? Because I'm reading the...
Okay,
Sir.
the motion is just to hire someone to do an investigation. What that turns up I don't know. I'm not part of it. This is an
Well, was
independent attorney. And whatever, and if something,
is it
nothing
against- you
nothing
can't-
may come of it or something may come of it.
I didn't ask you whether something's going to come out. I'm just saying, is it in cooperation with the police department? Or is it in cooperation with the streets department? Or are they looking into Mr. Mitchell or what are they, you don't give the
It's a
department head-
personnel issue.
But I'm asking department-wise. Because if it is against the police department, I want to remind you of the directive that was passed on November 18, 2019, that the police department, in the event the chief is the target, then the complaint shall be reported to the mayor and to the council. A supervisory officer receives the complaint against the officer shall immediately report the complaint to the chief of police or his designee. This shall be kept in the police department's file. It shall be giving a number. And if it is against the chief, then it goes to the mayor, who then brings it to council. We are not abiding by this directive if this is against either me or one of my officers, because I get it. It's in the directive here, guys. You have to abide by the same directives that the officers have to abide by. Yes, you have every right, if council determines that the chief shall not do for reasons that include, but not limited to the conflict of interest. But it still goes to the police department first, and they maintain the file all the time. I give it an internal affairs number. The chief of police shall maintain all records concerning complaints filed and or investigated in accordance with this policy in a secure file. We're not abiding by that?
Chief,
Sir,
we asked for your police report. We didn't ask for you to interfere in our motion. You're overstepping your bound, and I would suggest that you sit back down and let us move on with the rest of the night.
okay, I just want you to be aware of this directive. Okay, and then on the last part, the council is now up to 3 attorneys. If this is against one of the members of the police department or against I would like to have a conflict attorney assigned to me, because if it is against me, which I can just assume it is because it's going through a private counsel, then I'm doing what I did or didn't do was in the name of a chief of police. So at that point, I have no representation. So, it's not fair to me that I go and spend my own personal money to represent my position. So 3 lawyers assigned to the council, no lawyers assigned to the police chief. I respectfully request a conflict attorney. Thank you.
The mayor gave the report for the junior council person, so we're going to move on to action items. 9A, call for a motion to approve the Morrisville Little League Opening Day Parade to be held on Saturday, April 4th at noon.
Mr. President, if whoever moves this could just add that it's subject to change because we know this date is not going to hold. And just in case they want to have the parade prior to a future council meeting, we'd like to be able to approve the new date internally if council doesn't object. So if you could just add subject to change at the end of the motion, we should be good. With no date, yes.
Because when you sent us something last week, you changed it to the 18th, but things have changed since then.
Yes.
Yep.
And technically, I don't think they're going to schedule it until Little League International clears them to resume their operations.
Is it April 4th or April 18th?
I would leave it April 4th at noon, subject to change.
I have
Yes.
a motion.
So moved.
A second by Eileen. Any discussion?
So that was moved by Mr. Yeager, seconded by Ms. Dreisbach. Okay, thank you.
Since no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries 8-0. Opposed? Abstained? Sorry. 9B, a call for a motion to award the bid for the 2020 road repaving program to Central Asphalt Paving Company, Inc., in the amount of $190,858.19 per the recommendation of the borough engineer, and to authorize the borough manager to execute the necessary documents. Can I have
Mr.
a
Parker,
motion?
you said central. Did you mean general?
Did I say central? I apologize, it's general. General Asphalt
So
Paving
moved.
Company, Inc.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Bauer and Mr. Yeager, second. Any discussion?
Yeah, we didn't have this before, but I just have a question. This includes all the streets that were in the program. We ended up getting a low bid. It'll do all of them.
Yes, we had, I believe, 5 bidders. This was the lowest responsible bidder, and their bid is well below budget, and we expect to be able to do all 5 targets.
Awesome.
Yes, that's correct.
Great.
Who that second was? That was not.
Either one, doesn't matter. You can put it down,
I don't care.
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Call for a motion authorizing Morrisville Borough to participate in the Bucks County Department of Health 2020 Mosquito Control Program and to treat municipal properties for mosquito control.
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
Second. Moved by Mr. Bowers, seconded by Mr. Yeager. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. 9D, a call for a motion to approve the New York City Runs Trenton Half Marathon to be held on Saturday, November 7th, from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., pending Pennsylvania Department of Transportation special event permit approval. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Bowers, seconded by Mr. Yeager. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposing votes? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. 9E, a call for a motion to designate the official voting delegate and alternate delegate for the 109th General Assembly of Boroughs from June 7th through the 10th, 2020. The designated voting delegate is appointed for the purpose of electing officers of the association and voting on proposed resolutions and policies. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? I'll second it. Any discussion?
Yeah, who's done? Yeah.
Well, we said we were going to leave it on, and if we had people, great, and if not, we would
Yeah.
include it on April's agenda.
Haven't,
So does,
anybody want to?
the only person who has signed up so far, I believe, is you, so. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we vote on Nancy?
No, I don't think so. Well, yeah, they should name her. I mean, for the alternate, we can wait, and if somebody comes forward
Yes.
in April. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody has to nominate her.
I'll nominate Nancy Sherlock.
You have any other nominations? Any other nominations? All right. All in favor for Nancy Sherlock as the official delegate?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Carries 8-0.
And we'll leave this on for April in case someone comes forward wishing to fill the role of alternate.
9F, a call for a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the borough engineer to submit a grant application in the amount of $82,750 to CDBG for Morrisville Borough Public Library roof replacement and authorize the borough manager to execute the necessary documents.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Halal, seconded by Mr. Bowers. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. 9G, call for a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing the borough engineer to submit a grant application in the amount of $440,000 to CDBG for certain installation of new sidewalks along West Trenton Avenue and ADA ramps along Washington Street, Hillcrest Avenue, Grandview, and Melbourne Avenue, and to authorize the borough manager to execute the necessary documents.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Yeager, seconded by Mr. Bowers. Any discussion?
I just have one quick comment on last week. We were talking about where the sidewalk was on West Trenton Avenue. It is at the corner of West Trenton and Taft.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. 9H, call for a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the borough engineer to submit a grant application in the amount of $697,339 to CDBG for Manor Park Playground and to authorize the borough engineer to execute the necessary documents.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Halal, seconded by Ms. Dreisbach. Any discussion?
Yeah. The manager.
Yeah, he did.
Did I say?
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's in writing the right way.
Anyone else?
We read his intent.
I honestly don't even remember saying that wrong. Yeah, I realize. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. 9I, a motion to request PennDOT to conduct a traffic study of South Pennsylvania Avenue from Philadelphia Avenue to Post Road. 1, to reduce the speed limit to 25 miles per hour from 30 miles per hour. And 2, to implement a traffic control device and traffic calming measures.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Halal, seconded by Mr. Robinson. Any discussion?
I have a question. Is it necessary to have number 2 in there?
Is it necessary? No, it's the way the motion was presented by
The way it
the person
stands
who
now, I won't
sponsored
be
it.
able to vote for it because I know people down here do not want a traffic light or a stop sign on Cleveland or Post Road. It'll only cause a bottleneck with traffic and more exhaust from trucks. So I'm going to have to vote no on it.
Okay.
Question?
Yes.
The traffic control device doesn't necessarily have to be a traffic light, does it?
No.
No, they could be speed tables, they could be anything that helps the speed flow.
I don't, and this is probably way before my time, but from the borough line with Laura Makefield up on Yardley Morrisville Road, all the way down, it's 25 miles an hour, and then it's 30 once you hit 12. Why isn't it 25 the whole stretch? It's 25,
Well, maybe we can find out.
yeah.
They said no before. It's a different area.
I think it used to be 35. We had them come in and they finally reduced it to 30.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Can you add the line for 25 miles an hour to be consistent with the areas north of
You have to redo the whole motion.
Philadelphia Avenue? Or does that not matter?
Well, we can mention that in our request that we
Okay.
send to them if
It's
you want.
consistent with the rest of the borough, with the
Right.
rest of the street.
Okay, if you can add that in your request, then we don't have to change the motion.
Let's do a voice vote. Please.
Councilman Bowers?
Yes.
Councilman Dreisbach?
Eileen,
Can't hear.
they're taking a voice vote. You're up.
Oh, okay. For the study?
Yes.
No.
Councilman Maloney?
Yes.
Councilman Parker?
Yes.
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 Motion carries 7-1. 9J, a call for a motion to approve rehiring Officer Kyle Arias as a part-time police officer.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Halal, seconded by Mr. Bowers. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 8-0. 9K, call for a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the signing of the PennDOT reimbursement agreement for the Bridge Street Crossing Project, Delaware Canal Towpath. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Halal, seconded by Mr. Bowers. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. 9L, call for a motion to authorize the borough manager to engage the professional services of Kozloff and Stout attorneys at law at the municipal representation rate of $225 per hour to conduct an internal investigation. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Yerger, seconded by Mr. Bowers. Any discussion?
I would. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, I would like to make a recommendation, if the council so chooses. I'd like to put a cap on this of $3,500. That doesn't mean that if it continues on, that it can't be looked at again, but I would like it to have to come back for additional funding before more than $3,500 is spent.
I agree with Mr. Yeager.
Yeah, I'm good with that. If they could give us periodic updates as to where they stand and what more needs to be done.
You'd have to amend the motion then.
Yes.
Which can be done.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the motion to include a not-to-exceed fee of $3,500.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of the change?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
So now we're back to the original motion. Opposed? Yep,
Just for the amendment.
just amend it.
That was only,
That was only to amend.
Right.
That hasn't been passed.
All right, so 9L reads, call for a motion to authorize the borough manager to engage the professional services of Kozloff and Stout, attorneys at law at the municipal representation rate of $225 to conduct an internal investigation not to exceed $3,500.
Not to change it, but to keep this going on, but if it's $225 an hour, can we put it at a cap to give them like an even hours? Because at $225 an hour, $3,500 is 15.5555 hours.
No, because there's other things such as legal expenses,
They can
document
flip through.
fees.
Okay, $3,500.
Any discussion?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This statement is really intended more for our residents, as I believe the council already knows how I feel about the IA policy. I've sent numerous memos to the council regarding it. I stand behind the opinion expressed in the letter from the Pennsylvania State Mayors Association on the subject.
Dave, can you talk a little bit louder? I can hardly hear you.
Maybe I'll get a little closer. Hopefully
You
that'll
could
help
also pull that out, Mr. Mayor, if that helps you.
Yeah. I think it helps you guys. I can hear. Maybe that'll be better. Okay, I'll start over then if you didn't hear me. This statement is really intended for our residents, as I believe the council members already know how I feel about the IA policy. I've sent numerous memos to the council regarding it. I stand behind the opinion expressed in the letter from the Pennsylvania State Mayors Association on this subject. I was giving our complaint by the borough manager. I reviewed it. I gave the complete complaint to the chief of the Bucks County Detectives. He reviewed it, as did a deputy district attorney. Both agreed no further action needed to be taken from their office. I offered a written conclusion, and I feel any further action is a waste of taxpayer money. My personal opinion is that this is nothing more than another witch hunt against our chief of police. My opinion is, considering the manager has given the complaint to the council, if they want to move forward, they should give the matter to the U.S. attorney who rules on civil rights issues. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, hearing no more discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Moving on to appointments. The Economic Development Corporation has 2 3-year appointments to March 1st, 2023. Don Doretto and Karen Kane have expressed interest in remaining. I'll take nominations for one of them right now.
Don Doretto?
Karen Kane.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing no more, and since there's only 2 and there's only 2 appointments, we'll just vote yes or no on those 2 people. So, all in favor for Don Doretto and Karen Kane?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Library Board has 1 3-year appointment to expire on March 1st, 2023. Nancy Sherlock has expressed interest in remaining. I'll accept nominations.
I nominate Nancy Sherlock.
I do, if I may, Mr. President, I do have a question, and Ms. Sherlock, you might be able to answer. In 2013, the bylaws for the library board, were they ever approved by council? Okay.
But there was a new set that was approved.
Okay.
The amendment.
Do they include, I don't remember seeing them. Do they include the requirement where you can only, I think it's 3 terms? Yeah, I think it was in the 2013 version that I don't think council ever approved. There was a 3-term maximum on there. Does that remain in the updated one? And okay. So, and that's why I'm questioning. Yeah.
Confusing it with another?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not that one?
So, just for the councils, because I looked into it, a couple other people, I think Justin looked into it as well. The only place I saw that was in the 2013 version, but I don't believe that was ever approved by council, so it would revert to the older one,
Yeah,
which I don't believe had that clause in there, but I'm not 100%. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. President, my recollection of this, the last time we had to look into it, was the original bylaws for the library board stood because the revised bylaws were never adopted and approved by council. And the amendment that was done last year only pertained to the residency requirement
Okay.
that the board members be residents of the borough.
Okay.
It didn't change anything else.
All right, I'm good then.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor for Nancy Sherlock?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 8-0. Zoning Hearing Board, 1 appointment to complete the unexpired term through January 2nd, 2021 for a resignation. We have 1 letter of interest from Suzanne Zukowski, who is currently an alternate, so we would have to advertise for an alternate if we nominate her.
I nominate Suzanne.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion, I'm sorry, any objections or abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Moving on to 10, unfinished business. Okay, hearing no unfinished business, we're moving on to 11. We have new business.
Mr. President, the chief of police just handed me this thing he discussed. It's a municipal police COVID-19 task force. It's a mutual aid agreement with virtually every municipality in the county. I see nothing objectionable. I think it's actually beneficial to us and to our entire community. And it's up for council consideration.
Motion to approve the mutual aid agreement.
Have a second for that, please?
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Yes. Oh, we're adding it to
Yeah, we do. We
have to take
at that
public
point.
All right, we'll have to open it up
Yeah,
for
you're
public
right.
comment.
Yeah.
If it's been moved and
there's no-
seconded, you need to
I
open
didn't see
it
any
for
public. I
public
didn't really.
comment.
Do we have public here? Oh, yeah, we do have one
Yes.
person. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't see we had someone from the public.
Yeah.
When we started the meeting, we had no one from the public here.
Okay.
Is that memo going to be shared with all of us?
Yes.
Yeah, we can include it in your weekly delivery this week. That is, can I have this back, Chief, or do you need this one? I need that one. You need that one? Could you scan and email me a copy if you could? Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
That'll be sent to the DA tonight. It'll be sent to the DA tonight.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
We have comments for the,
She
I
didn't
did. I
actually say
opened it for
no.
public comment.
yeah, what about comments for the board?
Oh, I thought I did say that. Sorry. Anyone else?
I just want to make a comment. Typically, wouldn't want to vote on something like this, but given the urgency, having not seen it with the solicitors okay, I'm happy to move ahead with it.
Absolutely.
And I just saw it a few minutes ago. I was in my office until I got here tonight. I can just tell the chief, anytime you have something, you can email it to me immediately. I get email instantly, so on my phone, if I'm not in the office. So I mean, happy to look at it. Thank you.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, move on to 12, borough officials.
I have a quick announcement, sir.
Sure.
The Morrisville Yardley Rotary Club and the Morrisville Borough Egg Hunt is kind of up in the air right now. We did have an egg stuffing date that was scheduled for this Saturday that is officially canceled. I am assuming it's not official yet, but I'm going to put it out there that the actual egg hunt will probably be canceled. What we'll be looking to do, because we have, and I'm going to say it, 10,000 eggs. What we're going to be looking to do is deliver them to homes where we have children in the area. So if you're interested and you have children in your home and you'd like a large bag of filled Easter eggs delivered to your home so you can run your own little private Easter egg hunt in your backyard, living room, or elsewhere, please reach out to me. You can get my contact information off of the website, or you can contact the Yardley Morrisville Area Rotary Club and reach out to them either on the internet or through their website or through their Facebook page. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. President, I actually need 2 more council members who haven't already signed the plans for the completed Habitat for Humanity homes that were constructed on Woodland Avenue. I know a couple of people were nice enough to sign for us last week, but I need 2 more signatures. So if council members are willing, and I think I'll have to lobby at this end of the dais, I think.
Mr. President, I just had a quick comment about emergency management. The chief, who's our emergency management coordinator, had mentioned, I believe, last month's meeting about new council members taking emergency management courses. I don't know if anybody has yet, but if you haven't, I would strongly suggest it, especially since I just saw today that Lower Makefield declared a state of emergency. I'm going to guess that won't be too far off in our future. And in order to get federal funding, we need to all be certified.
Anyone else?
Question for Justin. What number is that? Is 900?
The chief can probably answer better, but I think it's 700? Rings a bell? No. 100.
Chief, would we be able to get an email with anybody who doesn't currently have it on file with you? I think some of us do.
I don't know who's
Okay.
collecting that information.
Okay.
I've been left out
Yeah,
of
if
that.
you
I've
wouldn't
asked
mind.
to find out. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's really be true to yourself if you haven't taken it, take it. You would have
No, I
known if
have.
taking that class or not. It's not a fun class.
All right, 13, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thanks. I'll talk to you, Eileen.
Yeah, Laura?
All right, bye.
Do you mind, Mr. Robinson, before you take off, and perhaps Ms. Halaho, if you don't mind, do you guys mind signing plans on your way out the door? It's just 5 sets of stuff that was already done. There you go, Chief. Thank you.
Can this be diced differently?
I'm not sure he has any control over it, but we can ask him. Actually, I put mine away already.
You as well.
Just reading an article.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Ted, I would tell you.
That's why I asked you.
Mr. Paul, are you good?
Why I asked you, and you're not afraid to tell me.
I was just listening to the answer part.
Oh, yes, yes. Well,
Anyway, thank you very much, Scott.
oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for participating.
Thanks for hooking me in. Take care.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Still, our bodies will kill us. Yeah, you too.
You're gonna scan this and put it in our packet coming up Friday, so if Mr. Paul was here.
No, there's, oh, did I not get a hard one for his folder? I guess I didn't. Yeah, we can include it. I have mine.
Question?